Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings everyone. For those who are currently watching this video, me and my partner today will be interviewing one of our special guests for our fact-checking interview. So, my name is Hayyul Qushairy bin Halim and with my partner.
My name is Tengku Putri Natasya, Binti Tengku Ismith.
So, today we'll be interviewing our special guest, which is Mikai. Okay. Assalamualaikum, Mikai.
Waalaikumsalam, and thank you everyone for having me today.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Okay. We will ask you like several questions, and you can answer it according to your own. Okay. For the first questions, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'll start with my name. Okay, my name is Nurul Shafika Binti Hisham, but my name is Mikai because everyone's calling me by that name. My family, my friends, and even my teachers. So it would be great if you can call me by Mikai. And currently I'm living in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. And currently I'm working at one of the company in Petaling Jaya as a learning specialist for Japanese speaker. So yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Natasha.
All right. So for the second question, if you don't mind, can you share with us your experience traveling to many countries?
Traveling to many countries. Actually, I haven't been to that many countries because I only been to Japan, and then Japan, Korea, and then Singapore, Indonesia, just that kind of country. But before, I've lived in Japan for 5 years. I studied for 4 years in Osaka, Japan, and 1 year experience working in Tokyo, Japan.
How was it there? I mean, working among the Japanese people, is it different from working here in Malaysia?
I can say it's totally different because of our culture differences, especially based on their timing, working hour, and of course the manner, and of course the language level that we use, because in Japanese we have that level, the standard of speaking with a normal friends, with someone who is below us, and of course someone who is higher than us.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Okay. For the next question, did you learn Japanese or any other language by imitating any of your family members or friends?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Did you learn Japanese language or any other language by imitating any of your family members or friends?
You mean I'm learning the languages by imitating the things in anime? Is it? Okay.
Sorry?
Okay, I will start with how I learn Japanese. I will start with how I learn Japanese first. Actually, I learned Japanese when I was the first time was when I was 15 years old. When I was in Form 3, I took a private class for part-time course for a year, and then I enrolled into one of the pre-university, which is the Pusat Bahasa Tengku. There I took the pre-university course for 2 years to prepare myself before I entered the university in Japan. So in Pusat Bahasa Tengku, I learned the learning is very extreme because we are from Monday to Friday, starting from 9 to 5 p.m. So the learning is was quite extreme, and Yeah, that's the thing that I learned before I went to Japan, and after that, I went to visit my study in Japan for 4 years.
Ah,
Wow. Interesting, interesting. It is just like follow-up questions. Like, do you have any favorite anime that somehow sparked your interest to learn
yeah.
Japanese?
Um, the interest. Okay, first of all, I don't really like anime.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm not into anime. The reason the reason I want to learn Japanese because I really love watching their Japanese drama
yeah,
Ah,
I agree.
and one of their J-pop group.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
J-pop group.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
J-pop. If you know Hey Say Jump.
Yes, yes, I know. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I know that group.
Yeah, maybe my partner know.
Okay, so
Ah,
let's moving on to the fourth question. Did you take part in any language classes or pursue in any specific university to help you in learning Japanese language?
Do you mean the courses?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Any specific class or university that
Any
you
specific?
enroll to, and it somehow helps you to learn Japanese language.
Yeah.
Yes, as I said in the previous answer, I enrolled into intercultural language school when I was 15.
Mm,
Um, and then right after SP, I enrolled into Pusat Bahasa Tengku.
mm,
Um,
Hmm.
so there I learned about the Japanese languages, and of course, yeah, the subjects such as geography and history.
mm. All right. So actually I'm interested to learn language. I mean like there are so many language that I want to learn. Based from the places that you have been to, do you have any suggestion of I think the best place to learn
Um,
language?
Okay, actually, I have like two institute that I would love to suggest. One of it is the Intercultural Language School.
Okay.
For this ICLS, we call it as ICLS. They have three branches,
Mm,
and here at first they just all offer physical class, but
mm,
right now since after MCO they started to offer online classes. So
mm.
ICLS is the first one, and the second one is the Ringo Language Center, which is I'm currently enroll myself into to learn Korean, Mandarin, and Thai.
Oh, okay, that's
Oh,
interesting.
And the Ringo Language Center also offer the online classes.
Yes.
wow.
Mm,
Korean, Mandarin, and Thai.
Thai. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
For the next question, during the early stage of of your learning process, did you feel any pressure as might be mispronounced, or maybe have made people offended by mispronounce some words?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Um,
feel that way?
Yeah.
yes, I had the experiences. Of course, learning languages is not, it is fun, but at the same time, it is quite stressing because
Mm,
at first you would maybe you enroll just to learn how to speak, but eventually you will face those like grammar,
yes.
the vocabulary, and of course the standard of the speaking level. So, let's say for Japanese, we have the JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. So for this JLPT, we have like 5 levels. So we need to prepare ourselves to sit for the test in terms of the based on the level. So I think the stresses it might affected by the level as as you learn from N5 to N1. I think the pressure is quite bigger than N5. But I think it's normal to have when you stresses when you're learning, because um, that's the part of learning. And how do I say it? Um, yes, I think pressure. I felt that pressure because somehow you set your mind. You need to reach that level until when. So I think that the big if I can give advice, I think just take it slow. Do not compare yourself with anybody else. You just go with the flow, and then you just keep on practicing. I think that that will improve your language skills.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I do agree with you. Like for me, like even when I learn English, it's already hard. But I don't know, like how you learning other language than English, Japanese,
Yeah.
like even tougher, and you managed to master it. And if you don't mind, could you share like did you complete until what level, or do you have completed all? Hello.
Hello, hello.
For in order for me to reach that level, um,
Yes.
yeah, I think is can you hear me right now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Is it lagging?
Your voice is not lagging, but your screen is lagging.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry.
yeah, I think
My internet
my
connection. Yeah, mine too. It's okay.
um,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. But Mika, I cannot
My
hear you.
guy's line connection.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's connection is
Yeah, I heard this.
very terrible today.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
Hello, can you hear us?
I think my Wi-Fi connection is not that good, but I'm trying to change the um I'm trying to change the Wi-Fi. Okay,
Okay,
I
okay.
think maybe okay.
Okay.
I think it's better.
It's okay. We proceed with the next question, Tasha.
All right.
Okay.
So the next question is, do you find yourself more confident when learning other language besides your mother language?
Yes, I can say that I'm confident when I learn another language, because for some people they have their own hobby, and as for me, my hobby is to learn another language, because I think that's the thing that I can do, which is I still can adapt to um how can I say 2 or 3 languages, um because how do I say this one? Actually, by learning languages, somehow really um, heal my stresses. I can say that, yeah, because like currently I'm working, so I'm trying to find another thing to do, something that can really
Ah,
I can feel fulfilling. So by learning languages is one of the things.
Okay, I see. All right. So talking about confidence, while when you were learning the language, I mean, at the very early stage of learning each language, did you find yourself struggling to practice the language? Because if let's say you learn Thai in Malaysia, but you don't have any Thai friends, then do you find it um as a trouble for you?
At first, it was one of the challenges of learning languages that you can't really use in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, I felt that when I first started learning. I start with Thai,
Mm-hmm.
but I already found the way on how I want to keep on practicing my Thai skills. My listening and speaking skill is by no other than watching dramas and of course listening to
Ah,
their music.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
interesting.
that's true. That's true.
Okay, for the next question, I have watched some of your YouTube videos, and from your own opinion, how do you view those videos in encouraging more people to learn Japanese?
How do I say? Okay, I started that YouTube channel because at first because I want to practice my own Japanese skill. But eventually, when I started making videos, and then I received a lot of comments that somehow I encourage someone to learn the Japanese. So I started to do something that is related to Japanese language or even something that is related to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I'm not sure whether my channels really can encourage people, but but I really received that kind of comment. So I'm really glad that people really found that my videos somehow can encourage them even a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like, I can't, for me myself, I mean like, if from watching your video, I feel like feel motivated to try something new at least. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously. I mean like,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, thank you
good
so
one.
much. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Tasha.
Okay. So, okay, the next question. Do you think that the content that you have created for your YouTube channel somehow helpful in improving your Japanese speaking skills?
Honestly, yes. I think by doing that videos on my YouTube channel somehow really um, give me the chances to speak the language even not with the native people,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because I started this when I was in Japan. So the reason was I want to practice to speak. At the same time, I want to let people know that it is not impossible for anyone else to learn another language. So um, yeah, I'm really happy because people found that my my videos really helpful because not only related to Japanese language, I also did videos about the halal in Japan. So I received quite a few quite lots of
Review.
positive comments, and I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, like you said, you wanted to do all YouTube videos in fully Japanese language, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, okay. Okay,
So,
for the next question, through your social media platform like Instagram, how do you influence and attract people to learn Japanese language? Because like as just you said just now, like you, I think that you have done like a Q&A session with your followers in Instagram, right? To for engagement between you and your
um,
followers.
yes, I did that before. Um, actually, currently because I was back in I'm in Malaysia, so sometimes I feel demotivated and continue to do something that is related to Japanese content.
Oh.
That's why I rarely do videos. I currently my Instagram, I just do something which is related to my personal life, not related to any for only focus on Japan. Actually, I wanted to do that, but somehow I feel that um is it still necessary for me to share that kind of content because I'm in Malaysia? But there is a lot of people out there in Japan who is still in Japan. So maybe they can
Mhm.
just focus on them, not me. But uh, I'm also struggling with that. But
I
I
think like we
really
shouldn't stop.
but I
That's good.
really I really want to, you know, I encourage using my platform Instagram to encourage people to learn another language, which is not only focus on Japanese but also another languages.
Yeah.
No. I think you shouldn't stop and you
Yeah.
like no, just continue do it. It's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Really, okay, I will
Yeah.
try.
But actually, I wonder, why do you feel demotivated to continue, like from,
Um, uh, from my point of view, one of the reason is because in Malaysia,
Mhm.
people rarely use watch YouTube for something that is related to a specific content, because
Mhm.
right now in Malaysia, every even the influencers, the target is based on Instagram as their platform, the main platform. So
Yeah.
to do that kind of video, let's say when I want to do to create another video which is related to Japanese language, it might take quite a few minutes, which is maybe 5 to 6 minutes, and
Mhm.
it is impossible for me to share it in my Instagram. So that's one of
Mhm.
the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I agree. Actually. Okay, now my question is, for your upcoming YouTube video, if you ever plan to do one in the future, on what way will you improve yourself to gain more viewers and create a better content?
This is a difficult question. Okay, I'll try to answer. I am still planning to continue my videos. My next video might be not only focusing on Japanese, maybe another to share my journey of learning another languages. Inshallah, if
Mhm.
there is a chance.
Mhm.
Um, on how to engage with the viewers. I think I want people to see my channel as a channel that is encouraging people to learn languages. Maybe in one video, I will do fully in Japanese, and maybe the next video fully in another language, or maybe I just try to do something that is challenging. Maybe vlog. I'm still not sure yet.
Mhm.
Still in planning.
So
Alright.
you plan to do like not just only on Japanese, you want to do the content in other language as well.
Yes, right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. For the next question, I mean like you just same as previous question, but have you ever experienced moments when you feel like giving up to learn Japanese language for specific or maybe any other language that may be harder than Japanese,
Yeah.
like Korean or Thai or even Mandarin?
Um, so I will just speak generally based on the language that I've learned.
Mhm.
Um, uh, all I can say is between the languages that I've learned, I can see that Japanese is the hardest language compared to Mandarin, Korean, and even Thai. And for Japanese, actually, because I totally in love with this language and I really love this language, so I think that's one of the reason I still can continue learning. And up until now, every day I will take time to to do some revision so that I won't forget the so I won't forget the Japanese language.
Mhm.
Um, okay, I think for in order to learn another language, the first main thing that you need to have is the interest itself.
Yes.
The
Um,
interest.
let's say when you don't have the interest, and then maybe you just you enroll into that language classes just because you want to be the same like the others. I think even yes, at first you might enjoy it, but eventually when you don't have the interest, you will feel like suffocated maybe, and that's the reason that people will stop or giving up in learning the language.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess that's
So
true.
the most important thing is that we feel enjoy and interest to learn at first, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
Not that
100%.
like if being forced into learn. So like maybe people who being forced to learn one thing, maybe they will do it halfway, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Tasha.
Next question is, do you think being a multilingual person gives you advantages in any aspect?
Yes, I think by being a multilingual, doesn't matter whether you can speak three or four or even five, it really give advantages to that um, let's say for one people, because in this generation right now, let's say for because in Malaysia, let's say we give an example. In Malaysia, we have a lot of MNC companies, global companies that really need another language speakers. What I can see right now, they mostly the high in demand is Japanese,
Mandarin.
Korean, Mandarin, and even Thai.
Mm-hmm.
So it really gives advantages for multilingual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Actually. Okay. Harry?
Okay. For my question, like as you mentioned just now that you have stayed in Japan for 5 years, right? Okay. So as you return to your homeland to Malaysia, on what way do you maintain or preserve your language skills after you coming back to Malaysia?
This is really to sustain the languages is really hard, I can say, because
Mhm.
you know let's say based on my experience, let's say when I came back here, I joined the company which need me to speak in English 24/7.
Oh.
So but the thing that really give advantage to me, because I got the job for the Japanese speaker, which is I support the Japan region. So but even I support the Japan region, I contact with the Japanese client, not every day, but mostly like once a week maybe. Um, uh, and I think it's really hard to sustain the language when I came back here. And the only thing that I can do is, you know, by open up the book bag and try to read everything, or maybe just try to
Okay.
hit the dramas, or um, try to write something in Japanese. I think that's one of the challenges here.
Yeah. Like practice make perfect, right? So like you
Exactly. Yes.
yeah. So you maintain your Japanese skill by practicing your writing and also by watching Japanese drama, right? Okay.
Yes.
At your workplace, do all the workers are Japanese, or maybe there are
There are other
also
races.
people like Chinese or Indian or Malay that speaks
Um,
Japan.
okay. For my team, since I'm in a learning and development team, all of them is like in my team I have like 11 members in my team, and I'm the only Malay there. And
Wow.
most of the other members support China region, and for those who
Ah,
support Japan region, there is only me and my senior, and my senior is Chinese. So there is only two of us, and our client is Japanese.
wow.
Interesting.
So you're the only
Malay.
Malay girl.
Um, yeah.
How does it
Okay,
feel
okay.
being the only Malay?
Actually,
Do you feel
Um, yes, for some people, I'm not complaining, but for some people, might see that it's fun to be the only one in, to be the only Malay in the team. But sometimes it's really it's one of the things that one of my challenge actually, because like before this, when even when I was in university in Japan, I took the marketing course, and I was the only Malay in in that marketing department. So I cannot say that I'm already used to it, but actually that's my challenge from then up until now. And because sometimes because let's say because we are Malay, let's say, and our Malay is our native language, mother tongue language, and when you have to speak another language, even your second language, the whole day, sometimes you will feel like really tired.
Yes.
And 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 when you don't have the chance to speak your own language, sometimes it's really make you tired and really feel suffocated. And I felt that even now, I just want to get used to it. I don't want to say, I don't want to complain about a thing about it.
Okay.
But you said that you were suffocated, can right? So did you do anything to cope with the suffocation? Like talk to yourself in BM or record your voice?
Like before, the only thing that I did was I called my family every single day so that I can speak the
Yeah.
language. I can speak Malay. And another one, let's say for now, in my workplace, I need to use English and Japanese, um, not Malay. So um, the only way to avoid suffocation is, going back and then talk to my family, to my friends. Yeah.
All right, all right. Okay. Okay. So for the final question, being a multilingualist yourself, what drives your need to keep improving yourself to be a better speaker?
Be a passive speaker. Mm, okay, actually, I always tell myself this one. In order to be a better speaker, or to be better in the languages that I learn, the only thing is I need to keep improving myself, no matter what. Because I already, once I started, I cannot. You can stop, but you cannot give up, because I already started that. So that's my choice. That's my decision before. So the only way is to keep on telling myself that I need to improve and I need to be better in this language, no matter what it takes. But it's not easy. Even when, like, at the moment, I have like few languages that I'm currently learning. So sometimes I felt that, or maybe I was rushing things, but actually, that's the thing that I want. That's the thing that I want to do, because the reason that I learn languages is just to do another thing apart from my job, to avoid all those stresses that I face in my workplace. So I always tell myself I need to keep improve, um, and find any way in order for me to be better at that language. Let's say, maybe you can just find a native, or a native speaker or local speaker, so that you can practice that language. Even if you can't find one, maybe you can just hit those dramas, music, or even reading some books to improve yourself.
True. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
curious. You have learned about 5 languages, right? Is it five? Five.
Um, is it
Mandarin,
Japanese,
Japanese,
Korean,
Korean,
can?
Thai,
Mandarin, Thai.
English. No, I mean like,
Yes.
right, kan?
Yeah.
Total of 5.
Can you rank the difficulties? I mean, from the lowest to the highest, because I
From
know
the lowest to the
Thai
highest.
is quite hard, because for me
Challenging.
it's hard.
Yeah.
But Mandarin is also hard. So can you rank them?
Okay, if I need to rank them, generally, despite the because it's different, because for because how do I say this? Um, I think it's different for some people, but I think okay, I will rank from the lowest, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
lowest. Lowest.
The easiest to
The
the most
easiest.
difficult.
The easiest, I think English.
Yeah,
Because
That's
we've
very
been
obvious.
learning this language since we were kid, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the next one I would say Korean.
Yeah,
Mm.
agree. I agree.
So the other okay, fifth okay. Another one is okay from wait, English, Korean. Next
Korean
one,
and
the
Mandarin.
next one is Thai.
Thai.
Ah, oh,
Oh,
Thai.
okay. Right.
Thai. The second one is Mandarin,
Oh,
Mm.
and I think that the most difficult one is Japanese.
Oh, really?
wow.
That's from my own, mainly from my own point of view.
But the Japanese are the language that you love the most apart from all
Yeah.
those language.
Yeah.
Like for your information, we also have one special course called Mandarin Proficiency where we need to learn the pinyin,
Mandarin.
the Mandarin writing. But
Oh.
just like you, but I think we both find it more challenging lah to learn,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mandarin. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
I
just
Mandarin is quite interesting.
Yeah,
yeah,
interesting,
yeah,
but
yeah.
kind of hard, especially when you write the symbols. That is the hardest
Oh.
part. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you mean the Chinese character?
Yeah, the Chinese
Yeah, yeah, the
characters.
character.
Yeah.
Personally I really love the Chinese characters.
Oh.
That was one up until now is still one of my favorite subject because
Mm.
I found it really interesting because before I learned the Japanese and it actually is
Mm-hmm.
the same like the Chinese character, which
Yeah.
is um, they have the same meanings and the same writing but slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
The reason what I found is interesting because if each character they have their own meanings.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes,
when you combine with
true,
another
true.
character, it will create another meaning, right?
Meaning,
So
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
yeah.
it's really beautiful.
But isn't it
Maybe
difficult to understand? I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's not like Korean. Korean is very, for me, it's easy because it's like alphabet, like ABC. But
Yes.
for Japanese and Mandarin, I think that's what makes me feel hard to learn it because, yeah, the characters.
Mm. Actually,
all right.
once you learn Japanese, it will be easier for you to learn Korean
Oh,
because the sentence structures is really the same. It's really similar, and some of the words really similar. And yeah, I think once you know Japanese, it'll be easy to learn Korean, and once you know Korean, it will be easy for you to learn Japanese.
okay.
Yeah, I
See.
do agree with you. Yeah, like what the most important thing is that we love and we have passion to learn those language. So
Yeah.
Yes,
inshallah we will find those, even the character or the language itself is much more easier to learn. So,
exactly.
Mhm.
uh, if you don't mind, we
I have
have
a
like
special
a special
request.
request. Special request.
Should
Can
request?
you
Oh my
like
god.
Teachers.
demonstrate or teach us basic Japanese language, like
Phrase or a
greetings.
phrase that you
Yeah.
love.
A phrase. Oh my god. What is
Maybe an idiom or
idiom? I forgot.
Or,
or
or, may- or maybe like just greetings or simple things to say that we can pronounce it.
yeah.
um um I think okay. I have these three my favorite words in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
It's not idioms. It's just it's just a daily. You can use this in your daily life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found this sentence is quite difficult to translate to another language.
Oh.
So it is
Oh.
my favorite. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Yes,
Uish.
it means it's quite hard to translate, but literally means is please take care of me from now on. Usually you will just use this word during you first encounter that person, or
Yeah.
you want to start
Oh,
something, you want to ask for help from
So I
people.
guess.
It's a very convenient word.
Mhm.
oh.
Yeah, okay, understand.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And another one is otsukare sama deshita.
Oscar,
Otsukare-sama
Oscar-sama
deshitas.
deshita.
Deshita.
Oh,
Um,
deshita.
it means how do I translate this one? Means thank you for your hard work. But you know, in even in Malay or even in English, we rarely use this kind of oh thank you for your hard work every time you've done something. So
Mhm.
this word usually used when you've done with your work, and then your colleagues will just say, "Oh, sekali sama deshita," or means like they appreciate your hard work on that day.
Mm.
Oh,
Or
yes.
even you've done with your examinations, or you've done with your projects or everything. You just use this word to convey your appreciation to another
Mhm.
people, that you really appreciate that people's hard work.
Mhm.
Oh,
Right. Okay,
the
understand.
manner.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Japanese
manner.
manner. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
And another one, I just love arigato gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Okay, that means thank you.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
it really
Yeah.
means something when you say arigato gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah, it
Ah,
sounds so
yeah,
polite too.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Just
I
now you
think
say
that's
about the manners, right? So I mean, like, uh, to compare between Japan culture
Malaysian.
and Malay culture, I mean, like,
I
in
think
in
there's a
your
huge gap.
humble opinion, which one is like you are more like or more
Prefer,
comfortable with?
yeah.
in terms of manner, of course, everyone knows that Japanese do really have such a great manners, no matter where they go.
Mm.
But sometimes, mm, when you truly have that manners, even you really have that manners, sometimes it will create the boundary between you and another person.
Mm.
Because I really see that, when to compare Japanese and Malay, I can really say that Malay is a really friendly, not Malay, I mean like Malaysian,
Mm.
really friendly
Yeah.
compared to
Yes, yes.
Japanese, right?
Oh,
Oh,
So for manner, yes, Japanese, but in terms of communication with other people, I would say
Malaysian.
Malaysian.
okay.
All right. Now I see the
Okay.
difference.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, we have finished our
Alhamdulillah.
interview session.
Mm-hmm.
To conclude it, I think that it is very, you know, I am proud to have, even our Malay people like you, like to be able to challenge yourself to learn other language than Malay and English. And in fact, you learn more than two language, which are
Yeah.
Korean, Mandarin, Japanese, Thai. I mean, like it is very. I think there are only few who like have that passion or um, have that courage to try something new.
Mm.
And luckily that me and my partner found someone that we can look up like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, thank you so
Uh,
much. I really appreciate that.
any okay? Maybe Natasha would like to say something
All right.
or to
So
wrap up.
um I just want to thank you for accepting our invitation for this interview, because to be honest, we didn't think that you will accept our invitation.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just thankful because you are someone that I look up to, especially in terms of Thai language, because I found you um through hashtag Thai, something like that, because I was trying to learn Thai language. But now stop for a few moments because quite busy with assignments and stuff. So
Yeah.
I have a question to ask you. Do you have tips if someone like maybe myself, I really love language, but I don't think I have the time to learn more than one language at one time. So what do you think that I can do?
Let's say you have the interest to learn two languages at the same time. I think the first thing is, of course, your time management,
Mm-hmm.
and of course you need to see. Let's say this language center offer on which day.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to align it with your schedule, because I think it will be great. Let's say as a student, maybe you can take the weekend classes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
because the
Oh,
classes mostly once a week. They conduct once a week
Uh-huh.
for like 3 months.
Oh.
So I think it will be really convenient for the students to study another language during the weekend. They have like Saturday and
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, and also, have you tried to learn the language that you have learned by yourself without any tutor? And which
Mm,
way do you prefer more, with a tutor or by yourself?
I can say that to learn language, we really need a tutor,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a teacher to, when we do some mistakes, at, the tutor can directly point out our mistake, or maybe when we did something right or good, maybe they can just like directly say, oh, what you said is right. So
Mm-hmm.
having tutor is really a must.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
okay. Maybe last one. Maybe for people like me or anybody who would like to start to learn other language. Maybe you have some advice for us on like on to stay to do not give up upon learning this language. Any advice for us?
Mm, advice. Um, um, let's say you have you are interested in one language. I think you really need to pursue that, because I think even a student, I mean high school students or even a university student, there is always, time and chance for us to learn. Even when you're 30 or even 40 years old, there's always chance for you to learn the language. It's just that it really takes your determination
Yeah.
and your passions and interest in that language.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have that interest in that one language, just go for it. Because I really encourage people nowadays to learn another language, because it really somehow someday will really help you
Mm-hmm.
in terms of maybe your between, in your workplace, for your career or for your education, or even when you're going outside, for travel, even for travel, it somehow it can help you.
Yeah, I agree. True, true.
Okay. I think
That's the
that's
end.
all from
Us.
today's this interview.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Thank you so much too for
I really
coming.
hope that you still continue what you are doing
Yeah,
right now. I mean, like um,
keep on doing.
keep on doing, yeah, keep on doing your content on YouTube, or maybe keep sharing what
Yeah.
knowledge that you have with other people. I mean, like it's a good way to do. Yeah.
Inshallah,
Again,
thank you so
thank
much.
you so much for joining us and be our guest for our interview session.
Mhm.
And we pray for the best for you in the future.
Yes.
And I wish for both of you a great success, and so that your learning journey is um, will be smooth.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
Mean,
maybe
Yeah.
if you don't mind, can we take
A picture.
picture? Oh,
yeah, sure, sure.
I just screenshot for my. Okay. Okay, ready? One, two, and three. Another one. Satu, one, two, and three. Okay.
Okay.
Can you send me the picture later?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And then I'm sorry if there is, the lacking in explanation today because
No,
I
it's
didn't prepare a
okay.
thing.
It was great. It was great. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a
Yes,
nice day.
have a nice day too.
And selamat berpuasa.
Oh, was Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Wassalam.